Hey guys, wanted to do a quick video on a subject that came across me today. Kind of got forced on me. I was working and someone shoved a pornographic image in my face, and it made me think about, how is this normalized? How is this okay? Because I instantly felt disgusted. I was grossed out. This is wrong. I'm repenting. I'm like, God, please forgive me. I did not mean to look at that. Even though not one lustful thought crossed my mind, I was just instantly grossed out. I mean, I honestly was mad. I walked out of there. I walked out of work without saying anything to anybody else the rest of the day. But I'm gonna go over some reasons why it's wrong, and is first one we're gonna go over is morally. Morally, it's wrong because of the way it makes your spouse feel, uh, the way it make your daughters feel, the way it make your mother feel. It's wrong for a list of reasons. One, like I said, your spouse. To your spouse, it makes her feel worthless, degraded, um, not good enough, not pretty enough, never can satisfy your needs. Like I said, personally, do I battle with it? No. I did in the past, but God has brought me out of that. Thank you. But husbands, it makes your wife feel something that a husband should never make his wife feel. Ephesians 5:25 says, "Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church, and he gave himself up for her." That means give up yourself every aspect, the thoughts that go through your head. When you're thinking about sexual things, she should be the only person you should be thinking about doing them with. She should be the only image in your head. Two, you should always take and remember what I taught a couple months ago, about a month ago. Proverbs 22:6. And this is going to fall for sons and daughters. Train a child up in the way they should go, and they shall not astray from it. A lot of the ways you're going to train your child up in the way they should go is by them watching what you do. If your children see you watching porn, one, more than likely your daughter's going to marry someone who does the same, and she's going to feel degraded. She's going to feel worthless. She's going to feel like she's not pretty enough. And as fathers, we should never want our daughters to feel like that. Ever. Two, your sons. Your sons are going to grow up, and they're going to get into it, and they're going to battle that addiction, and it's going to immorally tear them down. And then it's also their future spouse. It's going to hurt them. And then your mothers. If your mother were to find out you're watching porn, I mean, more than likely if you're watching it in secret. Your mom doesn't know about it. But if your mom was going to find out about it, she'd feel like, I failed as a parent. My son degrades women. He thinks they're nothing but, his sex slaves. All they want to do, all they're good for is having sex. It's not the case. In Genesis, God tells us that it's not good for man to be alone. That is why he created woman as our helper, not as our sexual feeder, not to feed our sexual desires. And when you're watching pornography, that's exactly what you're doing. You're feeding a sexual desire. Now, forgive me if I seem like I'm a little enraged by this, because today, what happened really angered me. As a man that does not mess with stuff like that, I was really upset. But I understand. We all have our own battles. That's personally not one of mine, and I don't want it to be one of mine. I'm gonna go put this on the moral side because there are some questions in here that should make you think morally. I went through a program at my church called Authentic Manhood. If you're going to see life, I strongly, strongly, strongly suggest that you take Authentic Manhood. It is a good class. It has helped my house grow tremendously. I'm not here getting for paid advertisement about Authentic Manhood. No, I'm not. I do this all for free. I love God. I love what God has done in my life. I love everything about him. I praise him and give him all the glory. But Authentic Manhood helped my house tremendously. And I'm pretty sure if you know anybody has gone through it, talk to them, and they will tell you authentic manhood is awesome. But that off on that subject, authentic manhood, I went through it. They told us to read a book. As you can see here, it's called Every Man's Battle. Every Man's Guide to Winning the War on Sexual Temptation, One Victory at a Time. And in here it has some good stuff. It talks about, you know, how when you're looking at another woman, you're stealing that image from another man, from, you know, whether it be a future husband or of the husband. But I'm going to reference to something here, and it's going to help you out a little bit. Let me see if I can find the page. We've had it. Second, there we are. This is called, it's a test. Are these men addicted? The compelling sexual craving are certainly strong evidence. Here's a little test you can take. You don't need a pencil. You just need to honestly answer within yourself. Answer yes or no to the following questions. Do you lock on attractive women when they come near you? Do you masturbate to images other than your wife? Have you found your wife to be less sexually satisfying? Are you holding a grudge against your wife, a grudge that gives you a sense of entitlement? Do you seek sexual arousing articles, photo spreads, newspapers, or magazines? Do you have a private or secret compartment that you keep hidden from your wife? Do you look forward to going on business trips? Do you have behavioral things that you cannot share with your wife? Do you frequent porn-rated related websites on the internet? Do you watch R-rated movies, sexual videos, or stream the VH1 channel for gratification? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are lurking in the door of sexual addiction. You're inside the door if you can answer yes to any of these questions. Do you watch pay-per-view sexually explicit TV channels on home or on the road? At home or on the road? Do you purchase pornography on the internet? Do you rent adult videos? Do you watch nude dancing? Do you call 1-800 numbers for phone sex? Do you practice voyeurism? Which I don't know what that is, but if you answered yes to any of these last 6 questions, very likely you're addicted. And Titus 2:3 admonishes against being addicted. Too much wine. The Greek word for addicted means to be brought up into bondage like a slave. If you think you're a slave to sexual passions, then you need to get help for your addiction by talking to a counselor or therapist. Here's a toll-free number. If you want to keep it private, it's completely between you. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Again, that's 1-800-NEW-LIFE. It's 1-800-639-5433. You can ask about treatment options. One option in the program for sexual addiction is called the New Liberty Program. And again, this book is called Every Man's Battle. If you're one of my friends on Facebook, no judgment will come. I promise. You want to read the book, you know, privately message me. Here's the book right here. It's called Every Man's Battle. Message me privately or come to me privately, whatever. Hey man, can I get that book off you? I will be more than happy to help you out and give you this book. This is a great book. It really makes us as men think, like the one thing I never thought about. And I was listening to a pastor who was talking about this book a while back ago, how the devil just used lust against us and sexual sin against us. And how sometimes, you know, you be sitting there looking at your phone and paying attention to your phone, and behind you can be this chick walking, you hear this little whisper in your ear, turn around and look, and you just kind of turn around and look, and before you know it, you're looking at this girl dressed in skimpy clothing. It's crazy how the devil uses against you, but I never thought about it in that way. The devil really uses lust against men because he knows how our brains are image fed. Our brains are way different than women's. It just takes an image for us to come to the point of arousal. Where my notes go? Oh, right here. The next thing I want to talk about is how it scientifically is wrong, or what's wrong with it scientifically. A study done at Cambridge University back in 2014 found that pornography triggers brain activity the same way drugs do in a drug addict. You can grow addicted. It also subjects your mind to some things that should be questionable. It promotes normalization of rape and lessens the desire of marriage. It drives violence during sex and can lead to a person to become abusive when their needs are not met. It encourages unhealthy desires like group sex and risky sexual behavior. The more you are exposed to something such as porn, the more you normalize it. Again, that was done by Cambridge University. You can look it up online. One thing that we do need to realize about sex is God created it between a man and a woman. We learn in Genesis, a man and a woman should come together and they should be one flesh. There is a reason why God created it. Another scientific study is they found that when a man and a woman have sexual intercourse, a small part of that person is left with you. A small part of your DNA is left with that person forever. It never goes away. That's not including the spiritual tie that you feel with that person. Now, well, some of you guys are say, well, what's wrong with porn? You know, I don't see anywhere in the Bible that say anything about porn. No, it may not say the word porn, but Jesus did tell us in Matthew 5:28. But I tell you, anyone who looks on a woman lustfully has already committed adultery in his heart. See, the thing about it is when you look and you start building that chemical in his brain, everything your brain processes goes to your heart. That's why you have that song, careful little eyes, what you see, careful little ears, what you hear, 'cause the Father up above is looking down below, or something like that. I can't remember the rest of it. But basically, it's a warning. One thing that's helped me, because I'm not gonna lie, I've just told you guys, I have the snap your neck problem. Every time I catch myself doing that, instantly I say, Job 31:1. I have made a covenant with my eyes not to look lustfully on any young woman. It's a good one too. Job 31:1. Psalms 119:37. Turn my eyes away from worthless things. Preserve my life according to your word. Is porn in the word? Is because God specifically tells you not to commit lust, and when you're watching porn, you're committing lust and lustful thoughts. And here's another one. James 1:14-15. But each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desires and enticed. Then after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is full grown, gives birth to death. Now I wonder, what you're thinking, how does Adam and Eve, when they decided to eat from that fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, it subjected us to all sin leads to death, no matter what the sin. Man, this is not me targeting you in any way, shape, or form, and I ask you guys, please do not take it that way. Now, here's one more. In Proverbs, I love Proverbs. I say, if people tell you to read Proverbs every day, I agree with them. Read a proverb every day because it is full of knowledge on how to live your everyday life with God. With persuasive words, she led him astray. She subdued him with her smooth talk. All at once he followed her, like an ox going to slaughter, like a deer stepping into a noose, till the arrow pierces his liver, like a bird departing into a snare, knowing it cost him his life. Now then, my sons, listen and pay attention to what I say. Do not let your heart turn to her ways or stray into her paths. Many are her victims she has brought down. Her slain are a mighty throng. Her house is a highway to the grave, leading you down to the chambers of death. when you dabble in porn, you're starting a sinful road. The brain is very delicate and it sends off chemicals, all kinds of chemicals, that can lead to a porn addiction. And that porn addiction is not something that's approved of by God. One, with the verse I first started with, Ephesians 5:25. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Is doing something that is demeaning and degrading to your wife, loving her? Would God do anything that made you feel degraded, worthless, like you weren't enough? I think he did quite the opposite. When he hung himself upon that cross, he proved to us all that we can be enough and that we are enough for him. Do the same for your wives. I'm going to do a quick prayer. I'm going to close out this video. Lord, I thank you for giving me the blessing and the discernment and the knowledge to do this video. Lord, I thank you for giving us the forgiveness and the love that you give us and the compassion that you give us, Lord. Lord, I ask you today that if any of my brothers or sisters, because Lord, I know you know just as well as I do, men aren't the only ones who struggle with porn. There are also some women out there who do it too. Lord, if any of these people are struggling in this area, Lord, I ask you to give them help and break the chains of that bondage right now in the name of Jesus. To help them move forwards with you and to grow with you. To not let them commit that lust in their heart. Lord, because you know that just leads to a very dangerous path. Lord, I ask you to be with these people, and I ask you to let this video bless those and touch those it needs to touch. And it is in your holy name I pray. Amen. Again, this is just a quick video. Please do not think that I post these videos because I think I'm perfect. I'm not perfect by all means. I may necessarily not struggle with porn myself, but I do struggle in other areas. You know, I admitted lust, Job 31:1. I made a covenant with my eyes not to look upon any young woman. You know, I struggle with my own sins. Porn just was never one of them. God thankfully broke that bondage before it can become a bondage. I'm not going to say I never watched it. I have watched it when I was younger. But God has broke that bondage from me. And I'm just praying that he can do the same for you guys. And I'm trying to help you guys. Please do not ever take this as me preaching at you or me trying to push myself upon you. No, this is iron sharpens iron. I do this out of love and compassion and glory for God. Just to help others in the areas they might be struggling in. And to help his wisdom and his word. I love you guys, and I pray this video blesses you guys. And again, you guys need any help, you know, it's just someone to talk to, a battle buddy, I guess you could say, hit me up. You know, what you and me discuss stays between me and you. You don't want so-and-so to find out, you just let me know. I won't say nothing to nobody. It's between you and me. I can be your, your accountability buddy. And if you don't want that, there's this app out there. It's called Covenant Ice. I don't know how much it costs. I've heard of it. I strongly suggest that maybe you look at that if you don't want, you know, discuss it with someone you may know. But again, I'm here, you guys, to help you guys out in any way, shape, or form I can. And again, the book is Every Man's Battle. You can order it on Amazon. They also have an audio book. And if you don't have the money to get the book, or you don't want to go out and get the book, I'm more than happy to loan or give you this one. By all means, anything I can do to help you guys. I encourage you guys always open up your word and read your word. Love you guys, and y'all have a great night.